Hey guys, real quick, only 40% of our viewers are actually subscribed, so let's change that right now. Hit that subscribe button right below. The other NFC West game, it's all NFC West this weekend. San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals, also Sunday at 4:05. Niners favored by 3 here. They're 6-4. Cardinals 3-6, coming off of getting wrecked by the Seattle Seahawks. Niners coming off of their loss last week. Anyway, against the Rams. The Niners, we might get Brock Purdy back. We're close with Brock Purdy. But Mac Jones has held the fort pretty well. Had a little Mac Jones discussion yesterday. But big game for the Niners to just stay in this thing in Arizona. Season hanging by a thread now after last week's loss.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they kind of to be expected, but they just don't have the kind of talent that the rest of the teams in this division have, I think, particularly not when guys are banged up and they've been missing some bodies in important areas.
Marvin Harrison Jr., appendicitis. He's missing this week, perhaps multiple weeks here. That's sad. That's always one of our favorite storylines, watching him emerge. He had started, I know they missed on a lot of targets last week, but you finally started to see some chemistry with him and Jacoby Brissett. I thought Arizona's defense, I mean, that's going to be the interesting side of the ball to me. I think they've done a really nice job overall this season. Had some issues last week. But again, that game got out of hand early on. They gave up some big plays, and then Seattle kind of leaned on them. Seattle. I'm like mixing up all these teams. Like, who played whom last week? But anyway, 2 weeks ago, did a really nice job against Dallas. I like Arizona's defense in this. And whether it's if it's Mac Jones, he's done a really nice job running that offense, getting the ball out. You're starting to see a little bit healthier group of playmakers. They did a nice job getting the ball to Juwan Jennings and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. So it's getting better as far as the playmakers go on that side of the ball. And then the Niners defense, still same issues. They can't create any kind of pressure and, questions up front with just general talent and, of course, all their injuries.
Yeah. The 49ers offense, I think, is still in really good shape. And that's why, as much as, we're this interminable, like, is Brock Purdy back or not this week debate every week, I don't think it really matters. I think Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, whoever's out there, they can cook with this offense. They've still got, Christian McCaffrey. They're getting the receiving weapons back. George Kittle was spectacular last week. Like, they're able to cook regardless of who's out there. It's the defense that's the problem. It's like now the defense was already extremely lightweight and thin despite having two of the best players in the NFL on that side of the ball. Well, those guys are both gone now, and they're not coming back this season. So now you're just left with a bunch of guys who can't really hold up. That's the issue. It's like I expect San Francisco's offense to do well against Arizona's defense, to have some success, to move the ball, to put up some points. Now the question becomes, can they get any pressure on Jacoby Brissett? Can they stop anything on that side of the ball? Because that's going to determine how close this game is.
And it feels like one of those games where if you looked at the Niners season and some of their close wins, including against Arizona, some of their close wins, and Arizona, their close losses, right? Like their 5 out of their 6 close losses are by 10 total points or whatever the ridiculous number is. A lot of the advanced stuff would say these teams are a lot closer than their records would show. It's not Bill Parcells here. You are what your record is. You're somewhere in between 6-4 and 3-6, both of these teams. So, feels like Niners are favored by 3, but kind of like Arizona in this game, despite them getting waxed last week.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm curious to see what their offense will look like without Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, last week it was all, let's throw him the ball all the time. Do they just load up Trey McBride now as the only target left standing that they have confidence in? Like, he's going to get 25 targets in this game. Jacoby to McBride is going to be it, and then whatever they get on the ground. The 49ers offensive line is still, reasonably problematic. It's definitely the weakest part of that offense as a collective. And Arizona have got pass rush. Walter Nolan, we talked about, went out of the game last week with a knee injury. Looked pretty bad. Apparently isn't. So he was a limited participant in practice. I think they're going to get him back for the game. Walter Nolan could do damage. That's an important player to get back in this game. We might also be witnessing this year, is this the end for Trent Richardson? He's definitely taken a step back this season. He's still Trent Williams. Trent Richardson, the end was quite some time ago.
I think he's done.
Trent Williams, the best left tackle of his generation, I guess. Still moves like a cat, but has definitely been taking a huge step back in terms of how much he's given up when he's getting beat. You would go into a game normally being like, there's no way anybody in Arizona gets any joy out of Trent Williams. Not the case anymore.
And you've made the point, too, with the Niners not only banged up in the defensive front, but, second level, linebacker level, and with Marvin Harrison Jr. out, is this a 15-target game for Trey McBride?
And by the way, 4 out of the 5 offensive linemen for San Francisco have given up 20-plus pressures already. That's a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, not to get into the Mac Jones discussion again, but Purdy was under some pressure when he was playing.
Yeah.
Mac Jones he's taken a lot of hits. He's played through injury. Like, Mac Jones has been extremely impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I just think overall Brock Purdy has elevated that offense more during his career. But the point you made yesterday, if it's only he's got the turf toe injury, which he came back for 1 week, re-aggravated it. It's a high re-aggravation type of injury. And if part of what's made Purdy really good is his scrambling ability. I always felt like we've seen some incredible scramblers over the last decade or so come into the league. Of course, the way Mahomes plays, Lamar, Josh Allen, but then you have like a Jaden Daniels who's been incredible at that. Jackson Dart showing what he could do. There was a point for a couple year and a half stretch or whatever, like Purdy's right there with those guys as far as a pound for pound scrambling ability. I thought he had a really good feel for when to run, when to throw, being that, what was the joke, like 1 mile an hour faster than the guy chasing you. Like, Purdy's got that to his game, and that's what's helped elevate the Shanahan offense, right? He does the color by numbers, and he adds some out-of-structure stuff, both throwing and running. If Purdy doesn't have that, then, Mac Jones probably runs the offense as well as Purdy, because he's not bringing that extra mobility piece to it.
Yeah, well, in particular, whether or not it's the scrambling to then throw. It's the extending a play that he's really good at, the being able to just buy time back there and find a play late in the down, as opposed to, we tend to think of scrambling now as running the football, taking off and turning a pass play into a run play with that scramble. But I think Purdy's scrambling ability is that old Russell Wilson style of run around, buy some time, find a pass late in the down that wasn't where the play was designed to go. Either way, you need him, like, he needs to be able to run on that toe. So I'm not even thinking about putting him back in the lineup unless you're telling me he's 100% good to go. This idea of like, he's close, it's 90%, well, then leave it. Mac Jones is fine. He's doing really well. You don't need to rush Brock Purdy back into this lineup. I agree with you that, look, overall, a healthy Brock Purdy has demonstrated a higher ceiling to his game and within this offense than Mac Jones has. But right now, Mac Jones is the 11th graded quarterback at PFF. You don't need to rush this. Like, you don't need to, 90. What's the line? Do we put him in at 92%? Like, just leave him be. Tell me when he's 100%. Otherwise, don't interrupt me with Brock Purdy updates.
Which might not happen.
Exactly.
Might not be so fully healthy.
But this, stop asking. I don't like if I'm Shanahan, I'm like, to the doctors, drop me a note when he's 100% good to go. Otherwise, I don't want to know. I'm good with Mac Jones. He's doing
the
fine.
Mac Jones wave.
Yeah, just knock on my door when Brock Purdy's actually healthy.
All right, man. Sunday, 4:05. Niners favored by 3. Where are you going to go with this one?
I'm going to go with the 49ers to win and cover on the road.
I'm taking Arizona. Harry's going to go with the Niners. Taking Arizona, coming off that bad one against Seattle last week.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video.
Check the Mic is live Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss a video.
You heard the man. Subscribe.